Science is very interesting to me. We're always learning more about life and other things. Our knowledge as a human race is ever expanding. That's what science is. It's just the ever expanding bank of knowledge that we humans possess. We're always building on things, rewriting things, and just coming to know things that we didn't know previously. So we're going to be looking at some interesting science facts today. That's it, just interesting science facts. This article came recommended to me by one of you, the viewers. So we're going to take a look at this, and if you have anything that you want me to react to, videos, lists, anything like that, just let me know somehow in the comments, and I'd love to check out some more stuff. So without further ado, let's get into science. Science facts that'll blow your mind. Without science, we'd still be living in caves. We wouldn't know how to take care of a simple cold or how to travel to space. Test your science smarts with these 4 science facts that'll blow your mind. So prepare to have your mind blown, because we're gonna get into this. We're gonna take a deep dive into the realm of science. Science. There are just as many bacterial cells as human cells in the body. Each human is made of trillions of cells. In fact, it is estimated that there are 37.2 trillion cells in the human body. That is a lot. That is an atrocious amount of cells. If you think that's a lot, wait till you find out how many of those are actually bacterial cells. According to a recent study, the human body contains just as many bacterial cells as human cells. Dang, so we're like a good chunk bacteria. Very interesting, very interesting. All your blood vessels lined up in a row could go around the earth twice. If you lined up all the blood vessels in an average child, that line would be over 96 kilometers long. That is more than twice the earth's circumference. I think I've heard that before. I'll see these random factoids floating around, right? That like,
if you took your organs and you stretched them all out into a tube, it would reach to the moon.
Stuff like that, right? It's very interesting stuff, how all of that material can fit so compactly into a human shell. It's very interesting stuff. Very interesting. A single drop of blood contains up to 25,000 white blood cells. White blood cells, of course, being the cells that are responsible for fighting off infections. They're the ones that attack and dissolve bacterial cells. They're the ones that are supposed to be helping me fight coronavirus right now. They're doing a good job, not gonna lie. People tend to think that having more white blood cells means better protection. Actually, high white blood cell counts can indicate a serious disease. Okay, so that could be a bad thing. Interesting. There are anywhere from 7,000 to 25,000 white blood cells in a single drop of blood. That is insane. A fingernail grows back in about 6 months. Did you know that fingernails grow faster than toenails? I did know that, but that was just kind of through life experience. A fingernail can grow back in 4 to 6 months, whereas a toenail can take up to 10 months to grow. The average person sweats about 1 liter a day. Yikes. That is a yikes. Just picturing a liter jug of human sweat. Kind of cringe, bro. Your eye can detect a candle flame from 48 kilometers away. Oh, dang. The Earth's curvature is what keeps a person from seeing for kilometers in the distance, but if Earth were flat, you'd be able to detect a flame of a candle from 48 kilometers away. That's like being able to see the flame of a candle from twice the length of the island of Manhattan. That's insane. Are our eyes really that good? I mean, my vision's pretty good. I'm just wondering, like, that seems implausible to me. I guess it's a thing. That's so interesting. I'd love to experiment with that. I guess I can't because of the curvature of the Earth, but man, that's insane. The human eye can distinguish up to 10 million different colors. We're constantly seeing TVs that boast better picture quality. Screens now display thousands of colors, and yet it's nothing compared to how many colors the human eye can actually distinguish. It is estimated to be about 10 million. That is insane. 10 million separate colors. Thousands of germs live in your belly button.
Don't do this to me. Don't you do this to me, MSN. Powered by Microsoft News, don't you dare do this to me. I will come for you. I will find you. I will track you down. And I will find you, and I will exact my revenge for this factoid that you have provided me with today.
You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. I'm just mad now. Dadgummit. How dare you? Let's move on. The average person will sleep for 26 years in their lifetime. By the time you've hit your 80s, you will have spent approximately 26 years, or 1/3 of your life, asleep. That's insane. The amount of time... Humans are such an inefficient system. The amount of time we waste sleeping. Not that there's anything wrong with sleeping. I love being asleep. I think I'm at my best when I'm asleep, personally. 26 years of sleep. That is so long. I mean, I guess I never really thought about it, but it makes sense. Like, you're on Earth for quite a while, so if you're getting a good night's sleep every night, then you're gonna be like, that's such a startling revelation. The human body has approximately 600 muscles. Okay, that makes sense, which is equivalent to almost half your body weight. There are 170 muscles in your neck and face alone. That's unequal distribution right there. Crocodiles have the most powerful bite in the world. Now that I believe. Crocodiles are no joke. They can, like, their bite force, they can break every bone in your body just by, like, that's no joke. This reptile has 16,000 newtons or 3,700 pounds per square inch of bite force. Fun fact about alligators, fact that you probably already know. They may have the strongest bite force in the world. They may be able to crush every bone in your body with a bite. But once their mouth is closed, you can just clamp your hands on there, hold on to the snout, and like, he's not going to be able to open his mouth. Like, crocodile opening mouth muscles are very weak. You can't stop it from clamping down, but once it's down, you can make sure that mouth stays shut. Astronauts grow up to 3% taller in outer space. Okay, that I believe. That makes sense. Just because they're not experiencing gravity up there, right? Like the Apollo astronauts, when they came back from the moon, they were certainly taller than when they had left Earth. It's just a matter of a lack of gravity compressing on your spine, because your spine is just a bunch of like vertebrae with some structure in between to like keep the whole thing together, but it's not like a firm like hardware structure. I'm not a bio student. I don't know what any of this is called. But when you're in zero gravity, just like when you're laying down in bed, the filaments or fibers or whatever's holding the vertebrae together will stretch out. They'll decompress because either gravity's acting downwards, pressing it out like a rolling pin almost, or in zero gravity, there's just no gravity to crush your spine down. Because that's what gravity is doing. Like, I mean, crushing is a very dramatic word for it because, you know, obviously we're not suffering under the Earth's gravity, but like, if we had no gravity, then we would just be like way taller. The average human eats 7,000 animals in their lifetime. That is a lot of animals. This can be broken down to 4,500 fish, 2,400 chickens, 80 turkeys, 30 sheep, 27 pigs, and only 11 cows? I guess cows are pretty big. These figures come from Vegetarian Calculator, a tool designed to promote vegetarianism. Okay, that makes sense. Not to generalize or anything, but like, they would be the ones to do the math, right? Just to convince people that like the vegetarian lifestyle is something worth adopting, right? There's nothing wrong with vegetarians, but I personally would rather go with the 7,000 animals. Your statistics don't scare me. I dare you to scare me out of eating meat. I dare you. What is science anyways? What are facts anyways? This is all a lie. This is a lie. Lungs do more than help you breathe. Everyone knows that lungs help you breathe, yet in 2017 researchers found that lungs also play an important role in platelet production. In fact, your lungs make more than 50% of your body's blood platelets. Without them, your blood would not be able to coagulate after an injury. Oh, that's interesting. This I do remember from when I took a bio class. Platelets, they're little like structures in your blood. They're basically meant to, like, whenever you have an open wound, whenever you like cut yourself open or whatever, the platelets will go to that area and form a clot over that area, just so that, like, you know, the bleeding stops. It's just like a natural patching system for your body. This is why humans get scabs after they've, like, you know, if you've cut yourself really bad, a scab will form over the wound. That's just platelets that have been used to coagulate and just kind of stop the bleeding. So that's one thing I do remember from bio. And it's very cool that the lungs actually are responsible for a lot of that. A lot of the production of platelets. That's interesting. Your brain registers 11 million bits of information every second. Did you know that your brain is a mega computer? You would not say that if you met me. Whoever wrote this article, you would not say that if you met me. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. Look, you do not know me. Every second, your brain takes in 11 million bits of data, but is only aware of 40. That's a relief, otherwise we all go mad. Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, sensory overload is no joke. I find it unfortunate that my placement in the camera is blocking all of my decorations for the video. I'm gonna be changing my camera angle at some point, but we got things set up, so it's all coming together, guys. I swear, it's all coming together. I'm redesigning my room from scratch, and it's going really well, so expect a better looking setup soon, I guess. Bananas share about 60% of the same DNA as humans. Oh no. See, everyone's a banana. I've been saying this for years. Everyone's a banana.
We're all just bananas in the end. From the banana we rise, and to the banana we will return one day.
We're just deep down inside, we're all just bananas. Glad it's not just me. Glad it's not just me. Yeah, that's gonna be great to dwell on in the future. Outer space smells like burnt steak? Astronauts have been able to identify the odor by how their suits smell after they take a spacewalk. Space smells like burnt steak? There's no consensus on the smell of space, but apparently it's been compared to grilled steak, burning metal, and even welding. Okay, so from what I'm getting from this, it's just kind of like a coppery, metally, burny smell. Okay, that's interesting. So space does have a smell. Big disclaimer for all the astronauts watching this very educational channel. Don't go out into space, take your helmet off, and give it like... Oh yeah, it does kind of smell. You'll die. I assume if you've passed all your astronaut training, you already know that, but I'm saying it anyways. Don't breathe space. You can't breathe it. You'll die. There's my disclaimer. All right. I have no legal obligation if you decide to go against that. Earth is dominated by microbial species. There are more than 7 billion people on Earth. But compared to that, there are trillions of microbial species, and only 0.001% have been discovered. Yeah, that's one of the more disturbing things about knowing so much about microbiology and all that stuff is me, this microphone, the camera, and basically this entire room are just filled to the brim with microscopic life forms. And we as humans just kind of have to be at peace with that. Like there's ones that grow in your eyebrows, there's ones that feed on your dead skin, so they're probably just all over your face and body, and there's ones that feed on your dead hair, and there's just, yeah, this room is saturated in microbes, and I just have to be okay with that. And you have to be okay with that now that I've made you aware that there's a bunch of microscopic organisms all over you. Also, you're now breathing manually. Also, here's a little musical interlude. Men's brains may be bigger, but women's brains are more efficient. Men have on average slightly larger brains than women. Not because they're more intelligent, but it's because women are on average smaller than men. Okay, so it's just like a matter of proportions. Like if a man is bigger than a woman, then he has a bigger brain. That makes sense to me. Despite being smaller, women's brains tend to be more efficient, especially when it comes to processing information. Okay, that makes a ton of sense. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna dispute that at all. I may have the bigger brain, but I have a smooth brain. Most women that I know, they have like absolute wrinkle brain in the best way. Any woman I know has a bigger brain than me, or maybe not physically, but just better brain than me. Over 700 animal species have gone extinct since the 1500s. Yeah, that makes sense. They do tend to do that a lot. It's very unfortunate. This number is expected to continue increasing in the coming years, with more than 2,000 endangered species and 12,000 threatened species. Yep. That is a very unfortunate but very true fact. Yep. Moving on, an elephant has the longest gestation period of all mammals. A 40-week or 9-month pregnancy may feel like an eternity for many women. However, animals hold the record for 95 weeks of pregnancy. That's twice as long as a human pregnancy. 95 weeks. That is insane. Science is epic, bro. Your hair is strong enough to hold the weight of 2 elephants. I beg to differ. If you took a strand of my hair, put it on a stretched it out like a tightrope, and then put 2 elephants on it? Nah. There is no way. You cannot convince me otherwise. There is no way. A single strand of your hair can hold 100 grams in weight, which means combined, the hair on your head could hold the weight of 12 tons. Okay, your hair combined. Okay, all of your hair. That makes way more sense. I still think it's kind of sketchy, but like I was thinking a strand of hair. That there's no way. There is no way. The sun occupies almost 100% of the mass in our solar system. Wait a minute. Hey, that's kind of selfish of you. Hey, quit hogging all that mass. Yo, what that mass do? Let's just ignore that. Just get back to the video. Without the sun, there'd be no life on Earth or solar system. In fact, the sun is so big that it accounts for 99.8% of the mass in our solar system. That's insane. I mean, I guess most of our solar system is just empty space, but still, like, we got a few planets. I guess they're small compared to the sun, and the big ones are made of gas. So, okay, that actually makes sense now. That actually makes sense. I think we're good. All the planets in our solar system could fit between Earth and the moon. Yeah, this is one of those facts that I've heard for so long, that all the planets like lined up could fit between Earth and the moon, and I just have such a hard time believing that. The moon feels way too close to allow for that. Like, Jupiter alone is massive. I don't think you could fit Jupiter in between Earth and the moon, much less all the planets. Like, I have a hard time believing this one. It's probably true. Scientists know what they're doing, but like, I have such a hard time wrapping my head around that. Money. Honey has an indefinite shelf life. If you're wondering if your jar of honey is good, chances are the answer is yes, even if you've had it for decades. While excavating Egypt's pyramids, archaeologists found 3,000-year-old honey that was perfectly edible. Honey just straight up doesn't expire. That's awesome. Dude, I'm gonna just buy 1 jar of honey and just be set for life. I mean, not because I love honey, but... Honey should sponsor me. Honey? Are you seeing this? Sponsor me. Please. It would take 1.1 million mosquitoes to drain all your blood. Now that's a very pleasant picture for you. 1.1 million mosquitoes all siphoning you at once, just draining you completely. Think of that as you're going to sleep, I guess. The sun will extinguish 5 billion years from now. I mean, that's fair, yeah. I mean, everything's got a shelf life. Except honey. Honey will never expire.
The sun will expire, but honey will never expire.
Sponsor me, honey. So based on estimations made by NASA, the sun will extinguish 5 billion years in the future. Sick. Good thing we won't be around for that. Up top. I hate myself. Each person's tongue is unique. Researchers think the tongue prints might be the best way to identify a body in forensics. So we've got fingerprints, which are unique to us, but we also have tongue prints, which are unique to us. Just gonna let that one sink in. Your tongue is very special. Mammoths were still around when the pyramids were built. Oh, that's interesting. Some of the last remaining populations roamed the earth for hundreds of years before going extinct. The last of these creatures is estimated to have died around 1700 BC, centuries after the Great Pyramid of Giza was built. It's one of those things where, like, I guess it makes sense, but like, you don't associate those two things, so it just sounds weird when you make that connection, right? It's just like Anne Frank and Martin Luther King Jr. would be the same age if they were both alive today. Like, you just don't think of it. You don't relate those two topics together, so it seems weird when you bridge that connection and it's like,
Wait, but that can't be right.
but it is. Science. All right, last fact. What are you gonna blow my mind with this time? So Russia's bigger than Pluto, huh? What's that all about? Area of 17.1 million square kilometers. Pluto is 16.6 million square kilometers. So yeah, I guess you can fit Pluto inside of Russia. You don't really think that's possible because Pluto's a celestial object, whether you call it a planet or a dwarf planet or whatever scientists classify it as now. Like, it's a celestial object. You don't really think that it could be smaller than Russia. But it's true, because this article says so. And that's also a wrap for this article. Science is crazy, and there are so many weird random facts that you can find if you go searching for them. I had a good time looking at this, honestly. This was super cool. Thank you to the person who recommended this, and if any of you guys have any suggestions on what I should look at in the future, any more videos I should make, let me know in the comments below. Link some interesting articles or videos or something that I should take a look at so that I can make some more content for you guys, because I really enjoy these reaction videos. It's a lot less pressure than the short films that I've been making recently. So thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you like my channel and the content I produce. Like the video if you enjoyed this particular video. Check out all my other videos. I guess they're floating around here in the channel somewhere. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. That's stupid.